Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you, Jeff. It's Halloween week yet again.
Ooh.
It happens every week. Nope.
Yep.
Happens every year.
Happens every single week.
It feels like it happens every single week because
everybody's always wearing their costumes. They're all fake people.
Because we have to think about getting into these stupid costumes and showing out once a year at all these parties. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, real tough life.
I know.
Tough life. I have to come up with one clever idea.
Well, no, because last year there were two, right?
Yeah.
But here's the bigger issue is that you killed it last year. You were Dennis Graham, Drake's father.
Yep.
Two different parties, two different Dennis Grahams.
Yeah, because he mixes high and low, right?
Yeah.
So you sort of have to mix the sweatsuit with the hard bottoms with the square toe, and then you also have the one where he's wearing like a nice suit, but then matching it with Jordans.
Yeah.
And then there's always the matching do-rag.
And there was such a big reaction last year to your costume.
Yeah.
Both nights.
I don't think I'm going to top it.
Well, but
that's fine.
That was the goal, or that was the issue.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that issue. I think you have that issue.
I do. I was concerned on your behalf, Jeff.
I don't care.
Are you going to do it?
Am I going to top it?
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, like, that's a great costume I did last year.
But you do have an idea for this year.
Sure.
I have an idea for this year.
Yeah.
We've put a bunch of work, probably more than necessary.
I don't think I put in that much work.
You don't think so?
I bought a white sweatshirt.
The mental work.
Now I just have to get something printed on it.
Did you think that you were going to be anything else than this right
Yes,
here?
I had so many ideas.
Okay. See, a lot of work.
Well, I mean, sure, there were mental gymnastics trying to figure out what I was going to be, right? The first thing I thought I was going to be was Jeff the Stallion.
Okay.
Didn't have anything beyond the name.
The idea.
I just was like, Jeff the Stallion is a great idea.
But
then I looked up horse costumes on Amazon and found
Too much work.
$1,000. I was like,
too much money.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was that.
There was that. The other one, I thought of shaving my head and becoming Bad Bunny.
Okay. That's nice. We have to travel on Friday, so you would have gone to TSA as Nelly Ortiz's favorite person.
Yeah, I mean, who even cares about traveling as Bad Bunny? The fact is that I would
No, I'm saying, like, when we're in Atlanta for the next week, are you going to be like...
It's my life.
Yeah,
what are
I'm
you talking
saying,
about? Who cares about Atlanta?
No.
I would be running around looking like Bad Bunny. I would have a design in my head.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying whatever interviews we do...
Who cares about interviews? Just try and live my life.
I guess just me.
Yeah.
You want to hear what my half-baked costume ideas were?
Sure.
Okay. I thought of one idea where I would dress up like the old man from the Pixar movie Up.
Okay.
And I would say all the way up. So
so
that's one.
Wait, so there's like three things that are old about that idea. So it's a triple entendre.
So, okay, sold. I should have done that.
Should have done it.
Number two.
Uh-huh.
I thought, Jesus is King is the new Kanye album, which I have not listened to. Mm-hmm. But it is out there. You have not listened to it?
No.
Okay. But just the title alone, I thought Jesus is King. Okay, a guy named Jesus. So maybe like I don't know, a mechanic or something like that. With a patch that said Jesus and a crown, and Jesus is King. Or,
by the way, I'm really into this idea.
Well, then I thought it was okay, and then I thought the Jesus from The Big Lebowski,
your favorite movie,
and so that could have been a cool thing. That's a lot of hard work.
How is that a lot of hard work?
So I made it into a
you could
Instagram
you
post.
could have just had a goatee.
Mm-hmm.
You need a ponytail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need like a mechanic's jumpsuit, right? That's like what he wears.
No,
like a purple.
You should probably see the movie again.
What does he wear? He wears like a purple jumper.
Yeah, it's not a mechanics thing. It's more like flair than that.
Okay. I feel like
I don't think these things are readily accessible.
There's not a lot of.
I'm gonna say no.
There's not a lot of daylight there. I feel like
between a fancy
jumpsuit and a mechanic's jumper.
Jeff, this is why you're not in fashion. I'm gonna disagree with you there. But let's talk about the Kanye thing, because it's not just the music that's out. There's a movie, or
it's not a movie. I went to see an IMAX experience.
Is that how they pitched it?
I have no idea, but it's not a movie. It's only 30 minutes and there's no arc. It's like a graduate film. What it is there's a bunch of clips of Kanye and the Sunday service performing different gospel songs.
So you went
not
because...
even ones that are in the album.
You went because?
I went because our friend David Cho had an extra ticket, and I was like, I mean, if we're going to see this other movie after...
Yeah, you might as well
see this 30-minute thing right beforehand.
And
apparently, well, I thought it was unnecessary, but apparently everybody else did too, because we were the only ones in the theater aside from like 4 other people.
So there were
6 people in the theater.
A handful of people. How many people could have fit?
Hundreds.
Oh.
It's the biggest IMAX theater in the
right.
country. It's
Wow.
the biggest IMAX like screen.
So a little private experience here.
Hundreds of seats that were empty.
Did you feel like you could have stood up and clapped freely and joined in with
the kid directly in front of us had his hands over his ears and was laughing. He
doesn't want to accept the word of God. Is that
I don't know if he was on the spectrum or something.
You did see this on a Sunday.
I did see it on a Sunday.
Did it feel like you went to a
Sunday
religious?
I would say there is very little religious stuff within that thing.
Did you get any Jesus from the experience?
No. Like, it's an aesthetic. All it is an aesthetic. There's no, like, once you consider like the religion that's in that the filmed thing, or even what Kanye is doing, these events.
Yeah. It's
not a religious experience. You know, I think that there are people who believe in Jesus. And Kanye believes in Jesus, but this is an aesthetic.
And there are people who believe in Kanye.
Right.
Yeah. So did you feel like your 30 minutes was worth your time there?
I was bored.
Yeah. How quickly?
Well, but also I was like, oh, like there's some interesting things within this. You know,
right.
I don't think it's a complete loss. I think that there's some visual things that are interesting. I think that the sound is perfect. The sound of the actual performances within that IMAX experience movie thing
Sunday, yeah,
it's so well recorded, but it's also just like it's only one angle. You know, it's
you were bored.
I was bored.
Was David bored?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that like there were things that David liked probably more than I did, but
did it make you want to listen to the music afterwards?
There's one song that is actually played in the thing that I would like to hear. Yeah.
One original song.
Yeah.
From the album.
So that's the one that's Kanye with Clips and Kenny G.
But otherwise, you just haven't been...
I haven't heard any of it. I'm not really interested in hearing it. But I also feel like if I don't listen to it and I have some sort of judgment on it, then I am a hater.
Sure.
And so I don't want to be a hater. I'd like to know what I'm talking about at least. So I'm interested in that level, but I'm also just not interested.
Well, that's the other side of it, right? Where it's like I don't have to listen because I'm not interested in listening. I don't have to say anything about it, but it's just not a part of my life.
There's 65,000 songs that hit the internet every single day.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I don't have to listen to those 10 or whatever.
Man.
But you know, if everybody's talking about it, I think it'd probably be better for me to listen to it.
And the movie you saw after?
I saw Jojo Rabbit.
I saw that the week before, and
it's really good.
Phenomenal, right?
I was thinking while I was sitting there, I was like, would this be a good Two Jews and Two Black Dudes episode? Probably not, but
you don't think so?
No, okay. I don't think it would hold Sheik's attention.
Okay, that's probably fair.
Yeah,
but that's not to say that Sheik is like the average movie watcher.
No, I'm saying for that.
It is an excellent film. I highly recommend it. I recommended it to you and just about everybody else that I've come into contact with recently. Jojo Rabbit, go see that. It's available probably everywhere now.
It's spreading. It's not available everywhere, but it is spreading. I also saw Parasite, which is probably one of the most talked about movies this year as well, which is really good.
Recommend?
Yeah.
All right. I do also want to take time now to mention, Jeff, that shout out to our friends John and Alex who have a store called 83 Futures, because this weekend out in Long Beach, California, they're going to be at Complex Con booth number B43. It's right by the Reebok booth, and they are doing something that is really, really special, which is you will be able to get your hands on original works by people like Jeff Staple and Naturel, Mr. Cartoon, Earl Mack, and more only, and this is serious, only this way, if you register to become an organ donor. And it's really awesome. It is not just, style for style's sake. This is actually doing something where you can save 8 lives by becoming a donor and heal 75 more. And there it is. 83 Futures. So in Complex Con Long Beach this weekend, you will be able to play games, you'll be able to pick up some dope merch, and you'll meet people like Freeway is going to be there, our friend Freeway.
That's awesome.
Especially because Freeway is the beneficiary of an organ donation, and that honestly saved his life. Shout out to Freeway, shout out to 83 Futures. I know that Bun B stopped by Complex Con Chicago. And
Well, at their booth.
Yeah. And this is really a really cool thing that we're involved in. We have contributed shoes to be a part of this really dope thing called A Piece of Me, a custom shoe project by 83 Futures. Garrickson, the Philadelphia custom shop, is going to be taking shoes from us, from Bun B, from Jeff Staple, from Paul Rodriguez, from Just Blaze Freeway, and more, and making them custom one-of-ones. You do not want to miss this. The only way you'll be able to get your hands on them is going to the booth at 83 Futures. If you are not in Complex Con, go to 83futures.com regardless and go save some lives. Jeff, who's on the podcast today?
On the podcast today is our good friend Smoke DZA.
Smoke DZA, Harlem's own. He has a new project out. It's called Statue of Limitations with Benny the Butcher.
Which, I mean, like, yes, the music is obviously great, but the artwork is probably the best of the year.
So we're going to take out Benny the Butcher. We're going to take out Smoke DZA. We're going to take out Pete Rock. The artwork
is the best of the year.
Is what we're here for.
Yeah, just look at it.
Statue of Limitations is available to look at on all streaming platforms. He's one of the most prolific rappers of our generation. He's worked with all of your favorites and has a million projects on the way with all of your favorites. Smoke DZA is also one of our funniest friends, and, you know, it's always a treat to talk wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you know, as two huge wrestling fans.
Yeah, what do we call ourselves?
Wrestleheads.
Wrestleheads.
Yeah.
That's the actual term, I believe, that you see every Monday night on whatever
Raw.
The show is.
Yeah. Raw sounds right.
Shout out to all of our fellow Wrestleheads out there.
Yeah.
Smoke...
Wrestleheads unite.
Smoke DZA has a lot to say. We talk about his jobs growing up. We talk about how he's maintained his relevancy. And we talked about most recently
hanging out with Rihanna.
He's out with Rihanna. Jeff, when do you want to get into this episode? Right now. Yo, what up? It's Eric, a.k.a. 600 Benz, a.k.a. the Autobahn.
Yo, what up? It's Jeff, a.k.a. my girl's polo down, a.k.a. she gives me rub and tug me.
That was a crowd tune.
That was good. This is Kush God. I ain't even got nothing cool with it. I'm a rapper. I got a whole bunch of cool shit in, but I just, they fucking
Yo, just do 100 bars.
Oh, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's your third favorite podcast to waste time with ItsTheReal. DZA, what's happening? Yo, it's great to see you. We were talking about this before you got here. This is coming close to being like one of the most regular people. You're not your regular. I'm saying you've made regular appearances on this podcast. You might be one of like the top.
You've been here now. This is your fourth time.
Fourth time.
I mean, because you guys are my friends in real life. Like,
in real life.
Group chats.
I know.
So it's like a little, you know.
Can you tell us apart?
Of course. I mean, at this point,
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like, okay, this is Eric, this is Jeff, this is the life.
On some level, there are people who are just like, oh yeah, it's the real. They're just like, they see us out and they're like, oh, it's the real. Not like, hey, Eric, or hey, Jeff, or any of that.
It's honestly weird when people can tell us apart.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm weird. I mean, I'm weird.
No, I'm not saying, you know, I don't appreciate it. I'm just saying you're a rarity.
Yo.
Yeah.
But every time you come up here, there's always good energy around. There's always good projects coming up. But before we get to all that, the best energy, the best project that you've been a part of recently is your Instagram with Rihanna.
Oh.
Yo.
I never had so many people ask me how good a person smells.
Yo.
That's the one question that anybody
wants to
always
know
about
what
her.
she smells like.
Yeah.
That shit is like so random to me. Like, I got girls, I got my friends. They like, yo, like, I gotta know, like, so what she smell like? Like, that was like the beginning of the conversation for every conversation I had in the last 3 days. Even from my mother.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, your mom calls.
Sean, I seen you with Rihanna. Like, I seen it on Facebook. Like, what?
Yo.
I seen it on Facebook. But anyway, like, but, you know, shit, I guess, yeah, she smells like a woman.
Yeah. Just to give people the sort of perspective, this was at Rollin' Loud, backstage.
Yeah, I actually bumped into Rihanna. We was
just real casual.
Yeah. You know,
I bumped into her.
You know,
we happened to meet backstage.
Nah, we was going through security together. Like, I was just finished performing and just, you know, making my rounds, and that's just how it happened.
Because I told Jeff about it. He hadn't seen it yet. And he's like, I wonder how they got together. And I said...
I didn't know that was at Rolling Loud.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely I wrote.
But my answer, like, first thing, I was just like, weed. You know, like,
I mean,
that's where you would connect.
Common answer, but
But you're more than that.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, I'm more than
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going through security.
Yeah, I had a nice smile.
Had you met her before?
Nah, it was my first time meeting.
Was she nice?
She was amazing.
There you go.
And she smelled okay.
Yeah.
She smelled like a woman.
Was she running with like a big sort of entourage?
All of ASAP.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she was
Got
there
it.
for Rocky. But,
Yeah.
I didn't even really see who she was with. Like, she was with people.
Yeah.
But you know, when we crossed paths, it wasn't really nobody to stop us from crossing paths.
And is that actually something where it's like, because you've been around a lot of people who are like of, you know, the highest celebrity.
Right.
Is it weird? I mean, like she's like
On another
unnatural.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's a goddess.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's Rihanna. You know what I mean? Like, I seen her, I smiled. I'm like, oh shit, that's Rihanna.
Yeah.
Like,
And she took pictures with like Hovain. She took pictures with you. She took pictures with
You
yeah.
know, we had a good little bro moment. Like,
Yeah.
I was the one that spotted her. Like, oh my god, it's fucking Rihanna.
Yo.
It's
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh shit. I'm like, yo.
Were you the first one to ask for a picture?
Nope.
Wow.
I was the last one.
Look at you.
I was the
Played it
last one.
cool.
I took the pictures for everybody else.
That's really nice of you.
And then I got the last one. I'm like,
Was there any question as to what your caption was going to be?
I had a few of them. Like, you know, I got personal stabs. but I just settled for a real generic.
Really fucking cool.
It's just really fucking cool.
It was classic.
You know? So I just left it with that.
That was great. We've seen you a bunch recently. At Joe Fresh Goods, did a pop-up in New York. We saw you. But one of the most exciting things that I can remember of late was when I caught up with you the night that Bun and Statik were doing their collaboration album. So we're out in Brooklyn at Statik's studio. You're there, Method Man's there, CJ Fly's. A lot of people like moving
casual.
in and out. Yeah.
Just a bunch of friends hanging out.
Yo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, Crit came through. A lot of people were there.
Yeah.
You jumped on this song with Bun, right? And like maybe there was going to be a third person on it. Didn't know. There wasn't a hook, anything. You're there. You do your verse like in a second. You're done. And then Statik's talking to the live feed on Tidal and is like, yo, Fat Joe, I know you're watching. If you want to, you know, come through, you know the address. So half an hour later, I'm standing like in the studio behind the door trying to like stay out of everyone's way and enjoy the collaborations and all that. Mm-hmm. And who walks in but Fat Joe? And Fat Joe was like, let me hear what you guys have. Because Bun's telling him about like different songs and what the ideas are, the themes are. And he hears the beat that you are on with Bun, and he's like, that's the one. And he starts doing his like, you know, fat like dance and all that. And he's like, yo, I'm on this one. Didn't matter, like the subject matter, didn't matter that it didn't have a hook. He got on, killed it.
Did the hook.
And then did the hook.
Right.
Have you ever worked with Fat Joe before?
Nah, Joe's one of my favorite people. And I was actually on the live stream after I left because I think I did my verse and I was like, all right, let me just, you
did your work.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the way. Let me just, go fade to black. And I just happened to just tune into the live stream. And I see Joe in there and Joe going crazy over the record. And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, Fat Joe about to get on that shit. And I was talking to the live stream or whatever and Statik like, yo, come back. And I made the U-turn. Like, yo, let's get back over there. It was actually me and Westside Gun.
Yeah.
And we got back over there and that was just a moment. And the illest part of that was, Bun pulled me aside and was like, you deserve this. This is what you get for being a real one. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Stay down, so.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Like two legends. And you're on there for eternity.
Yeah.
That's
that was
real.
one of those moments, you know what I mean? So.
That's so dope.
Yeah. Much love to Bun B and Fat Joe.
Most
Two of my
definitely.
guys.
What was your first time meeting Westside? All the Buffalo guys. Like, how did you link up with them?
Shit. I might have got over gunning them. I want to say like late 2015, maybe. And we got acquainted over wrestling because we got that's our mutual passion.
Yeah.
And I put out this series called Ringside every WrestleMania, where I rap over wrestling theme music and shit. And everybody in that lane of wrestling, we kind of all have this bond where we just stick together. And I never met Wes at that point, but he had a record named Mr. Fuji. And
which we as wrestling fans are really into because
for the listeners, Jeff knows nothing about wrestling. He hates it.
Huge wrestling fan.
However,
we call ourselves wrestleheads.
Wrestleheads.
Yeah.
Marks for sure. But
I am a smark.
Smart.
Yeah.
But he had a song. Him and Conway had a song called Mr. Fuji, and he was like, "Yo, we want to get you on a remix for one of his tapes that was coming out." And he sent it, and me, like, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. So I did the verse in like 2-3 hours, sent it back to him, and we just, from there, that was where our relationship started.
That's long for you, 2 or 3 hours for a verse, right? Because
I know, that's how I sent it back. I might have did the verse in 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
After just doing everything else I had to do, I was like, cool, I sent it back in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I think we linked at that WrestleMania, whatever the year was, in like Orlando. He was like, "Yo, I'm out here." I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm out here too." Pull up. We was at some function with like Jim Ross or some shit, something funny, where I asked him if I could smoke weed. Like, my thing is this smoke DZA friendly?
Yeah.
So
you don't even need the DZA part. Is this smoke friendly? But yeah.
I just say smoke DZA friendly because it sounds cool.
Yeah. Oh,
so I'm like, is this smoke DZA friendly? Because they know I'm not trying to smoke a cigarette. Smoke DZA's trying to do.
Yeah.
So
Black and Milds.
Black and Milds, right? So I smoked the Black and Mild with Jim Ross.
Okay, all right.
And Tony Schiavone. My good guy, my guys.
I'm saying even though I don't know who you're talking
It's
about.
okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Because a lot of people get it.
By the way, that's my interview style anyway.
Right.
Just
Shout
like
out to AEW. Just me
oh,
all day.
yo, I love AEW.
Just,
I watched AEW with Peter Rosenberg.
Did you really? Is that real?
That is true.
Okay, cool.
We were over at his crib, and we're like, "Why do you have 2 TVs?" And he's like, "You had to watch
NXT and
Yeah.
AEW at the same time." Peter's he's a very good mark.
He's a big wrestling head.
He's a mark.
Yeah.
Right. So, I asked if it was smoke DZA friendly. They told me, yeah. Long story long, I light the blunt, and they kicked me out. They tell me the sheriff is coming or some shit like that.
Damn.
I think we was like in Dallas, too, so I knew I would go under jail. So I said, hey, Wes, think we might as well get out of here. And I just, our relationship just stayed strong from there.
Random, there's a series on YouTube that is done by Bon Appetit where the chef and a celebrity are back to back, and the chef tries to teach the celebrity to make something that she or he is also making. Right. And they had a guest on the other day, Braun Strowman.
Oh, shit.
We don't know this guy.
Right.
Yo, the greatest personality, and like...
He's like 7'11".
He looks like a mountain. And like...
the monster of men.
And seems like the most genuine, friendly guy,
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I think, Randy, you met Braun Strowman before, didn't you?
Yes. Is he all right?
He's cool.
I mean, it's a lot coming from Randy if he says
Yo,
cool.
the Snap God is so
Shout
rude.
out to Snap God.
He's a rude guy.
He's mad country.
No.
Country bumpkin.
All right, that's a lot. But he's cool. Let's just keep it with that.
Okay, yeah.
Snap God is also 7'11", by the way. In case
Yeah.
Braun Strowman is looking for a fight.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one, Jeff. I like that one.
Theater of the mind,
Yeah.
So clearly, you and the Buffalo guys all connect on wrestling,
Right.
And weed.
and lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, they, I tell them this to their faces. Like, those guys inspire me when it comes to rapping and shit.
Was there ever a time where you were just like bored of rap?
Hell yeah. I
Yeah?
get bored a lot. Because, I wouldn't say get bored with rap. I get bored with the business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could ever get bored to rap because I always bookmark the shit that I was inspired
Booksmarked.
Booksmart. All the shit that I was inspired of coming up, like the Biggies, Jay-Z's, Lox's, Beanie Siegels of the world. But as far as new guys, like, they lit a fire under me. And I appreciate that shit a lot. So yeah.
So it wasn't anything just to jump on a project.
Yeah, I mean, me and Benny got one. Like, I fuck with them all collectively. Like, and Benny is one of those guys that you can't play with him when it comes to getting in the booth with him. You gotta come with your A game.
Yo, Benny had that Sony Hall show maybe
Zoo.
a month and a half ago.
Walls are sweating.
Old New York.
Old New York. It was like, I don't even want to call it nostalgic because it's brand new, but it was a feeling like you knew it was something special.
Yo, and shout out to our guy F Boogie, you know?
Oh yeah, shout out to F Boogie. That's one of my best friends in the world.
He
Piece of shit human being, but a brother of mine.
just putting all the truth out there today, you know what I'm saying? So, how long has this project been in the works with you and Benny?
Me and Benny started working on this, I want to say around March. We was in LA. We shot the video for Luck of Draw, off prime locations. I forgot which one it was. But we shot the video and we was just talking shit. And I'm like, yo, bro, we might as well just do like a little 6-piece real fast. He like, yeah, nigga, I'm with it. Let's go. I'm like, we just think about producers. And I got Don't Smoke Rock and Don't Smoke Rock 2 that we working on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go out of what my comfort zone, what I got going on, and I want to make this extra special. So I'm like, yo, I got some Pete joints. Like, let's just have Pete do the whole thing. He's like, oh yeah, bet, let's go.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
So you already had the instrumentals.
Most of them, and then with Pete, like Pete is he's a lost gem, and with Pete, he has certain protocol in getting his beats. He's not gonna just email you beats. He might, depending on how he feels. But for me, I have to go to Pete's house,
Up in Westchester.
sit with Pete,
Yeah.
and say, "Hey Pete, I have a jump drive for you. How about you put those beats on?" And then that's just getting the beats. And then after that, it's a process as well. But I went and handpicked those beats from Pete, and Pete chefed up a few of them in front of me, did some hibachi, and was like, "Yo, I could hear y'all on this. You should have this. Or this sample was cool, yo." And just start making it in front of me while watching Invisible Man on fucking TV, because all he watches is 70s sitcoms.
Really?
That's his cinema. It's just all 70s and 80s. No new shit. So Invisible Man was playing, then the A-Team came on. And he just making all these cool beats, and I got to pick out of the litter.
How much of the process are you like part of being like, can you shift this? Can you?
I'm not part of the process at all. I'm not. I let him do what he do because it's fucking Pete Rock. And if I probably give my expertise, he might say I'm Pete Rock. So I don't really do much as far as him making his beats, because he's a fucking legend.
So then when he's doing all that, how are you occupying your time?
Oh, you know what I'm doing? Rolling weed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want you on the record.
Yeah, I'm rolling weed, and I'm just like, hey, that shit sound hard. And he just gonna go off my energy, and he might do some doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and I'm like, oh, that's a hard doo-doo-doo. Or, maybe we don't need the doo-doo, but regardless, it might be in there.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to take it.
But more importantly, are you watching A-Team?
I'm definitely watching it on mute. I'm definitely watching it on mute.
Does he have subtitles on?
No, I'm doing the voiceovers in my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever Mr. T is saying, I'm just reenacting that in my head.
Not a George Picard man?
Are there any references that you make now that Benny doesn't understand?
Nah, I think we understand each other's language really well. Especially when it comes to putting that shit down. Like, we speak the same code.
So now we live in an era where people want more and more and more. You could put a project out today and they want something tomorrow.
Right.
Do you feel, and you do have a lot of projects coming up,
Yeah.
but do you feel the need to put a lot of stuff out there because people aren't satisfied?
I don't really all the way try to satisfy the appetite for the fans as far as music, because I have so much of it.
So you are sitting on a lot too.
I've been sitting on music since 2016 that's not been out. Like big records with like big features and shit. But
Like who? Yeah.
Few people.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
So you're sitting on those for what reason?
Because it's timing. And I have a whole new situation in with my business as far as having distro and just having the infrastructure of the business with the music correct.
Mm-hmm.
So now I own all my masters.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's big.
I'm able. Everything that's coming out is actually mine, so I could control the climate and when and how it comes out. So for me, holding some of these things and having a lot of new work is just adding to my discography, and just, on the business side is fruitful.
Well, now that your business is like correct,
Right.
I want to talk about when your business was not correct.
Right.
And like, what mistakes do you think that you made on the business side that you like, if you were an artist coming up today, that you would want to know?
I will put myself first. Going back, like a lot of us want to help everybody once we get into a stage of being able to help. And sometimes, you can't help everybody, especially if you're not helping yourself. And having a good lawyer is definitely something that I would advise for anybody. Not saying I don't have one, because I have a great lawyer. But having somebody to actually articulate those terms to you in the dumbest way possible for you to understand. Because before you say masters, and you don't really know what that is. It's just like masters. Oh yeah, masters. But you heard about the locks and the puff shit and all that. But you really still don't really know the severity of what that is, and having ownership of it and not. Instead of taking a big advance up front and not eating after that shit is out, or waiting for numbers to be recouped, or whatever it is. You gotta go about it to get your shit right, instead of just owning the master, not taking advance, and eating forever.
Well, that's like patience versus like, I need it now.
Right.
Like, did you think when you got your first opportunity that like, this is it? Like, if I don't take this now, there might not be another opportunity?
Nah, I think it was more so, I got 3 kids and a wife. I need to fucking pay these bills.
Mm-hmm.
And
You had 3 kids and a wife before you started rapping?
nah, I mean, that came up. Yeah, my kids came after. I've been rapping forever. I've been rapping since I was 15.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had 3 kids and a wife in my 20s.
Yeah.
35. But just I wouldn't even call it desperation, because it wasn't even that. Because I'm on the road, I'm doing different shit, but it's more so like, is money on the table? Should I leave this money on the table and walk away, or should I? And shit, reality in real life, this shit ain't easy. Like, it's not like, it take money to get this shit done. Like, yeah, you got access to the internet, and if you know how to use the internet, you'll be the richest person in your jurisdiction. But if you don't really get that shit, and you just bumping your head learning, then you might fall for that. You might take a big advance over ownership, because you're thinking about that big advance and what it could do right this second. But you got to think about what it'll do next 5 years from now.
Who's your favorite shark on Shark Tank?
Mark Cuban.
I was hoping you would say Mr. Wonderful.
I like Mr. Wonderful, but I like fucking Mark Cuban, because I think Mark Cuban is more realistic with his shit.
Yeah.
And even when he's outlandish, he has some type of realistic logic
Yeah.
to it. So
Mr. Wonderful gives you that deal. It's just like, fuck you.
take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's
Like, I'm the
oh,
I'm
you're
the last
dumb for
one.
leaving it. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
last one. Look, they all turned you down.
Yeah. You want a
wanna
nickel?
fuck with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was there ever an opportunity you felt like would come your way with somebody who was like questionable, like a Mr. Wonderful, where you were just like, man, I'm not like sure that we connect on values, but like, this is it, and let me take it?
Yeah. I might have had that before.
Did you have any OGs who you're able to like ask?
I did, but I'm stubborn, and I feel like I could learn from my OG's mistakes, but the best teacher is life. So you could tell me not to touch the fire, and I'll be like, okay, I won't touch the fire, but I want to see what the fire feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta learn, like, oh, that shit really hurt for real, and I did it. So I had OGs and good smart friends telling me, don't do that. But for me, I'm like, give me an alternative. Do it yourself. Now, sometimes for artists, when they tell you do it yourself, it's like, do it myself? Nigga, how the fuck am I gonna do it myself when the first is gonna come regardless, and I don't got time to do it myself in order to execute it like this? I need this to get my shit powered and going.
Yeah.
Right. But
And that especially is heavy when you do have a wife and 3 kids at home.
exactly. So, I tell my wife, hey, I'm going to do this myself. She's going to say, oh, yeah, great. Well, the first is coming.
Yeah.
And I don't think Con Edison cares if you do it yourself or not. I don't think the landlord cares if you do it yourself. I don't care XYZ, whatever. So, I had to make the decision that was right for my family at the time. And sometimes that's just, you might have to cut your nose to spite your face sometimes to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I made the right moves because I don't feel I did, but the flip side of it, I'm glad I did it because I learned.
Well, yeah.
And I know what not to do.
And also now you're on the other side where it's like you do own your masters. You are in a place where it's just like you're not owing somebody else shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it leaves you in a place where you've learned from whatever you've gone through to get to this place yourself.
Absolutely.
So in 2019, Smoke DZA is a lot smarter, as I hope he would be, than in like 2006 or 2003 or whatever.
Yeah, when Smoke DZA was beat up. You know what I mean? Smoke DZA was getting beat up contractually. But I'm not bitter. Like, I'm happy because at the end of the day, I still own shit.
Yeah.
And it's still like, I've still made a lot of money rapping, living my dream. So I'm not the least bit distraught or like, angry with anybody. If anything, I'm happy with a lot of these people.
Who's the first person who was like a veteran in this game who you looked up to, who reached out and was just like, yo, you're doing something, keep going?
The first person
Was it me?
might have been you, Jeff. Yeah. I don't really remember the first person, but I've had a lot of interactions with people that reminded me that this shit is real. Like my first time meeting Bun being South by Southwest. I think it was like 2009, 2010. And I went up to him. I'm like, yo, OG, my name's Smoke DZA. I'm a big fan. He's like, he was like, hold on. Pulled out his iPod. And he showed me my song on his iPod. And he was like, you don't have to introduce yourself. I know who you are.
Wow.
And keep doing your thing. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yo, isn't that the gas that just like keeps you going for like...
That keeps you going.
Right?
So, and I always remembered that, like, damn, this nigga Bun knows. But then it's shit like bumping into Young Guru, who engineers for the greatest rapper of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you one of my favorites. Like, I love your shit. Like, I don't feel like you got your just due yet. And I'd be like, well, call Jay. but Young Guru, that's one of the guys that really, like, anytime I see him, he give me that battery. Like, he let me know, like, yeah, nigga, you the guy. You just, you just need your shit on better plates. Because I feel like the plates that your shit was on wasn't the best display for people to see. Like, you just need your shit on fine china. We don't need to see your shit on the project plates.
How about how easy it is to not go on, to just like call it and like move on?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of my friends quit. I've seen a lot of people quit. And it's easy to quit.
What is it that keeps you going?
I don't know. Because I fucking almost lost everything in certain ways. So it's like...
Well, how's that?
I mean, you lose friends, you lose relationships, you lose money. You know what I mean? So it's like, I lost a lot, and I don't even know. I could just credit it to the love I got for this shit, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
all the years that we've known you, there have been like serious family issues. There's been like health stuff. There's been real life things.
Yeah.
And still in those moments, you choose to create.
I'm all in, and it's no turning back. Because it's like, where am I turning back to walk back all the way through all of that? Like, nah, I gotta keep going. So, through all the heartbreak and all the shit, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, God got something set out for me that I gotta continue to execute, or else I'm not doing him justice. I'm not doing me justice. And I'm just not ready to leave this shit alone.
When you were in high school, and okay, you're rapping, so that's one creative outlet, but how else did you express yourself at, 15, 16, 17.
Play basketball,
Yeah.
What position?
point guard, shooting guard.
Were you nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rappers out there that know. You can ask them.
Yeah.
But
Because people talk about like the best, Cam's good at basketball. Trinidad James is known to be really good at basketball. Like
good.
you
Ask
can,
him.
yeah,
Ask
yeah,
Trinidad.
yeah,
But yeah,
You can
basketball.
hoop.
Yeah, I can hoop.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fat now. The niggas will be like, "Oh, that fat nigga, he ain't doing shit." I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
You might not know, you know what I mean? But
run up some horse,
Yeah.
Let's do
you know,
this.
I'll tell you,
Johnny Shipes,
my best friend,
he can hoop.
he's definitely a hooper.
Yeah.
And we definitely had a lot of wars with and against each other.
Who throws more elbows?
That Shipes pretty dirty. But I don't know. I think we both equally dirty when we play basketball. It depends. We like Anthony Mason and fucking Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah.
It depends. Or we could be Shaq. We could be a lot of shit. You know what I mean? But you never know what side.
But
you gonna
who's the
catch us on.
Latrell Sprewell?
Johnny is Latrell Sprewell.
Wait. So if you were Anthony Mason when you were in high school, did you have anything cut in your hair?
Nah. In
See,
high
now
school,
we're
I didn't
asking
have the
good
funny
questions.
colors. In elementary school, I had all like the stars and half
Yo,
moons
what?
and I'm gonna try to find a flick. and
Yeah,
send
yeah,
it to
please,
you.
yeah.
I'll text y'all a flick on the group chat.
Would you dare do that today?
Yes.
I almost did.
Really?
Get the little half moon.
Yeah.
But I don't wear my hat. I always wear fucking hat.
Yeah.
I'll never show my half moon. And then my friends will laugh at me. Even I don't really give a fuck if they laugh at me or not.
Yeah.
Because, it's whatever. I'm smoked this at this point. So it's like, all right, cool. I bet if I come out with a half moon, somebody gonna come out with a half moon.
Yeah.
I was gonna do the half moon, bro. Yeah. Nah, I wear hats, man. I got a box hat.
So, so you're in high school, you're balling, and you're rapping.
And I'm rapping, yep.
And where were you working at the time?
I never had a regular job.
Really?
I think I'm lying. I worked at Dress Barn for like 2 months.
Doing what?
I worked in a stock room. It was a ladies' clothing store.
Oh no, I'm aware
Yeah,
of what
yeah,
Dress
Dress
Barn
Barn,
is.
yeah.
Not that I
hated
hung
it.
out there.
I
Yeah.
hated it. I hated it. It was like the Lane Bryant.
Yep.
Did you leave on your own accord, or were you asked not to come back?
Actually, funny fucking story. So I worked at Dress Barn for like 2 months. I was a slacker. And one day I decided I don't want to go back to work. And me and Bodega Bamz cut school this day because we were cutters.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
Cut school.
Yeah.
And
That was your job.
that was my job. And I spoke to his mom. I said, Googie, please call this lady and tell her I quit.
You couldn't do it yourself.
I can't do it myself. Tell her you're my aunt. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Make it clear to them. She said, are you sure? Are you sure, Smoke? Because Bodega Bamz family, right? They call I'm Sean.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
call me Smoke too because they respect my just.
Wow.
That's just what
Yeah.
how we came up. So
Yeah.
she's like, and she calls me her second son too. So
Yeah.
she's like, Smoke, do you really want me to call this lady and tell her that you quit? I said, Googie, I'm done. I got no more in me. She called. That was good.
Yo,
My second job was at Dwayne Reed.
how long did you last there?
I lasted about a month and a half. I used to like take CDs
Yeah.
and burn my shit on it.
Blank CDs.
Blank
Yeah,
CDs.
yeah, yeah.
So that
the
was
spindle.
Like, yeah, the
yeah.
spin
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Maxwell joint.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was like my my hustle inside of the hustle.
So you burned all your shit onto the
I burned all
CDs.
my shit on the CDs.
Cases?
Cases.
Pass them around.
Pass
Where
them
were you?
around.
Where were you going to pass them out?
In the neighborhood.
Oh, so you
It's
weren't
like
going down to
wherever,
like get
42nd
tourists.
Street.
Yeah.
I wasn't the hey, give me $5, listen to my shit.
No,
Type
wait.
of nigga.
No, because some people do the here, and then when people are like, oh, thank you, they're like,
Oh,
yo,
no,
that's.
I got a donation. You
Yeah,
want a
I know.
the best nation is donation. But I haven't asked for one. I will always just be like, here, just give me a listen.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I always was on my, you never know who you give your CD to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'm sure some of them wanted to see what the streets felt about the CD and
Yeah.
threw it out the window on the way.
Sure. Yep.
But it's cool.
Yep.
As long as I gave it to you, that's all that mattered to me.
Yeah.
And my CD never got to anybody that I wanted it to get to.
As far as you knew.
As far as
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever go to Hot 97, stand outside 395 Hudson?
I did stand outside 395 Hudson maybe once or twice.
Who'd you try to press?
K-Slay.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It didn't go well because I didn't see him.
You didn't see him.
But I ended up bumping into Slay like differently. Like my life has just been fucking crazy, which is like how I meet people. I like the randomest times. Like I turn around and Nas is right there.
Whoa.
Shit like that. Like random shit. But I did do the 395 thing, standing outside of Hot 9, hoping I run into a Clue or K-Slay.
Yep.
Never worked.
Sure.
But I battle rap too. And I bumped into Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And Ferris Bueller was the one that introduced me to Jonny Shipes.
Is that right?
So when I was like 16, 17.
Maybe people outside of the industry, outside New York, might not know Ferris Bueller, but he's run with everyone from Kanye to Pharrell to
He's
everybody.
really, him and Plain Pat
Yep.
were like the beginning of like Kanye.
Yeah.
And Kid Cudi, well, not even Plain Pat with Kanye, and but Plain Pat with Cudi. And Ferris is a staple, you know. So Ferris and DJ Boom at the time. DJ Boom he was the first J Arms, and then it was Sycamore. Shout out to Sycamore.
Big shout to Sycamore.
All three of those guys made instrumental CDs at that time in life. And I was battling Curtains on 42nd Street.
Yo.
And Ferris was in the crowd. And after the battle, we all exchanged information. And he was like, yo, I want you to come to this battle named Slam from the Streets. And it's funny, just for all full circle. So I go to the battle. It's me and Immortal Technique. We like the two, I guess, notable guys because we ended up facing each other at the finals.
He was also Upper
from
West
over
Side.
here.
Yeah.
He's from across the street.
Yeah.
So me and Tech battle, and it was an inside job because they already wanted Tech to win. I feel it was for like $500 in a two-way pager.
Damn.
This is how long ago.
Yeah, right.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so dope now, though.
Yeah,
500
two-way?
in a
Yeah.
two-way?
Yeah.
I would just
What?
take the two-way. They could
Yeah.
keep the five.
Yeah.
But
Wait, because you like grew up around each other, sort of. Did
we
you
had-
like?
we grew up around each other, but we wasn't cool.
Right.
So when we battled, it was like you get the real feelings of how that person felt
Yeah.
about you.
Oh, like wasn't cool, like not
Nah,
that
like,
you didn't know each
not-
other. You
yeah,
knew each
we
other
knew
and
each-
didn't like
Well,
each
we
other.
didn't know each other, but we was like, we knew of each other.
You didn't like the idea of him?
Not that I didn't like the idea of him. He was just
Like
he
you went
was
to
just-
Dalton. Like
He called me Shell's hype man.
Ooh.
wow.
Because at that time I used to run around with Shells, and Shells had just
And you were
signed
his
his
hype
deal
man.
Yeah.
to J Records, and so
And
I
the
did look
truth
like a hype
hurts.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
You know, so and funny, and Shells lives across the street. I
Crazy.
might bump into him when I walk out of
Wait,
here.
he
lives
I haven't
at-
seen him in
around
like 2
here?
years. He lives across the street, Jeff, like legit.
I have not seen him at Sweet Green.
Yeah.
You might. You gotta go at certain times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shells was signed to J Records, and Shells was actually the first person that got me on Mad Cypher. Shells and Streets the Block, because they went without me and I ended up going afterwards. But he called me Shells hype man, whatever. He ended up winning the battle. They gave him the 2A and the 500.
Damn.
But I got the relationship with Johnny after that, because Johnny was like, yo, you're fucking dope. I think he was interning for Bad Boy at this time. And he was like, giving me the rundown of what was going on. He was like, yo, come to the Hamptons. And I'm like, the Hamptons? Like, I heard Jay-Z rap about the Hamptons, like the all-white parties, puff shit. And we drove like fucking hour and a half to the Hamptons. And
6
you,
hours.
Shipes,
Yeah.
F Boogie too?
at Boogie.
Yep.
My man Vish at the time. And
Oh, did you know
Yep.
Scott Disick?
of
Yep.
course I know Scott. I used to hang out with Scott back those days. Like,
Right.
Scotty Don't. You know what I mean? Tom Moore. Like those is...
Wait, you called him Scotty Don't?
That's what they did. That's what we used to call him.
What did Scotty do that you called him Scotty Don't?
You gotta ask Scotty if you ever bump into him.
Yeah.
And if I don't even know if he remembers me from at this point. Cause
You're saying Scotty Don't might not have the best memory?
Yeah.
Scotty
don't remember.
Scotty don't remember Smoke DZA, I don't think. But maybe.
Can Scott hoop?
I never hooped with Scotty.
Okay, all right.
So I don't know. But that was the Animal House, and I was
Yeah.
the kid that was just like
So you went to their
Around.
club nights, whatever out
the
there.
Star Room in the
Star Room,
Hamptons.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
all the cool shit.
F
all
Boogie
the-
was working the register.
Boogie was working the register at Blue and Cream.
Yeah.
And all the derelict shit. We used to do like drive cars in the fucking gates and just stupid shit we did as kids.
Scotty, don't.
Yeah. The publicist who backed the car into
Liz Grubman.
Liz Grubman.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Back the car into what?
No,
People.
This is a big thing back then. Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. You just fucked my whole head up with that one. I don't remember that
We're
one.
not here to incriminate
Yeah,
you. Like,
Lizzie,
God,
don't.
you're acting
Yeah.
like-
So you went out to the Hamptons. Did you think that you were gonna get a bad boy contract?
No.
Never.
Never. I was just happy to be there. I was just happy to be in the area and be able to say, hey, I'm in Hamptons. And I'm
Yeah.
Wait, did you
hard.
have an all-white outfit?
I did have all white.
Ooh. Okay.
All white Air Force Ones to go with it.
Oh shit.
Holla.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
When's the last time you wore all-white?
Dominican Republic at my brother Orlando's wedding.
That's dope.
What about Sunday service?
You know, which Sunday service? With my grandma or with Ye?
Oh,
I'm talking about the latter, but
Yeah.
I think I would have more fun at the former though.
Yeah. Yo, when you were going out to the Hamptons, did you run into Dame Dash at that point?
Nope.
Never.
My first time running the Dame was when I was in the dojo. I remember Steve-O took me to the dojo at that time, and he was like, yo, this is like the illest creative space, creative control, XYZ. And it was just like,
Yeah, because what Dame did was they had a whole building and they had creative control doing videos. They had
ski beats, making beats and recording, and
like
doing the live band in the basement.
they had parties there.
Parties. It was
Art
with like
shows,
yeah,
yeah.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, right?
Ping
Yeah,
pong shit over there. Like it was, it was an experience.
yeah.
And me being from Harlem, it was like an honor to even be in the building with him. So anytime I was able to rap and he was around, I would try to fucking show up the best way I can so I can get his attention.
And you're amongst,
Jay Electronica, Currency,
yeah,
fucking Mos Def, Wiz,
just some
Ray.
light spitters,
Just some light spitters.
Yeah.
But like with that and just just being charismatic and having good weed, it was like yo, young Harlem. He's like, yo, Harlem, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? And still up to this day, that's one of my mentors. Like anytime I'm in LA, I go to his crib, go break bread, talk shit.
When you were at the dojo, would you like play the wall or were you trying to like
Nah,
be in the
network?
Nah,
Yeah.
I was one. I was one of the fucking.
Like if Ski
Karate
Beats was
Kids in
like
there.
making something, would
He
you?
was the sensei.
But would you offer to jump on something?
I'm not really that guy, but if I'm in a room and somebody's playing something, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna look my way and just see my reaction. So anytime I was in the studio and he put something on, he would be like, "What's up? What you think about that?" So anytime anybody asks me what I think about that, I know they want me on this shit. But I didn't really have to force my way because me and Currency was cool before we even got to the dojo. Like when Currency had first got on the freshman cover, I had met Spitter. And that, I forgot what year that was, 08?
Something like that.
Year, Mickey Fax,
Yep.
Corey Guns was on the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
I might be one of the only niggas that might have smoked a blunt with Spitter in life. And he don't even smoke blunts
Yeah.
no more. Probably ain't smoked a blunt over fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
He's more of a jewel guy.
Nah, he smoked papers.
Yeah.
But we cut a record, Nothing But Us. I think that was the first record that we did together over there, and it's been history ever since. Just whispered it like 2 nights ago. It's my brother.
He was up here, yeah.
Love that dude.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
best,
Love that dude.
the greatest.
Yeah.
So you're working down there, and you get on certain songs, and you're amongst all these guys who are like veterans at that point. Who impressed you? Who impressed you? Like you're like, yo, I thought the most of that person, but yo, they took it up another notch.
Spitter.
Yeah.
I think the way he works is like some other shit. Like the fact that we call him Spitter, I don't think people understand his process of shit. Like, my process could be a little mind blowing to certain people too. Like I don't write.
Yeah.
It's
It's
having
really
seen
crazy.
it in person,
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible.
I do it like that, but then Currency has like this 5-10 minute space where you just see him scribbling shit. And he's just scribbling. He's like, all right, I got it. I'm like, you got it. I'm like, I just put the beat on. go in the booth and it's some fire. And it's everything that's going on, and I'm like, yo, dog, you good rapping motherfucker. How did you do that in 10 minutes? Like,
Well, what's the song that you did? Now, maybe it wasn't like the biggest Spotify hit or whatever. It didn't sell the most, or it wasn't like, you know, the first single off of. What's the one that you looked at now and you were like, yo, when I recorded that, I was like, I made it. Like, this was the one, and like, you couldn't tell me nothing.
I don't think I got that record.
Not
I don't
any of
know.
them? Not like a deep cut or anything where you were like, yo, I was spitting crazy.
Yeah, I think Personal Party. That's one of my that's one of my better records, I think. And I don't know, because I'm still going.
I hear you.
And I still feel like I ain't got that record yet.
But there wasn't one where people were like hitting you and they were like, this is something else?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
But I can't pinpoint just one. Maybe coming up,
Okay.
it might be something that somebody might be like, oh my God.
On some 2016 shit? Or are you saying
On
like some of the...
2020 shit.
Okay, so let's talk about 2020.
Yeah.
You have... So, okay, 2019, we got you and Benny.
Right.
You got your solo project coming up.
Yep, real estate.
It should be It's the Real Estate, but I'm not going to make a huge point.
Right, yeah.
Ooh, that's a
That'd be
good
kind of
one.
hard, though.
Like y'all said, Rihanna is fucking cool.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
one.
That was Eric, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was so you got your solo project, you got your Benny project. You and Currency doing something? Okay. I'm gonna take that as a yes.
You know, I'm gonna say it on this. Me and Currency got something that's done.
Done.
That's done.
Because listen, you guys have known each other for a long time, like a long time.
And we did the stage with Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really good. But we got something that's
And I'm
done.
saying like you put a lot of projects out, and he puts a lot of projects out, and we've been waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, I think people would be excited about this.
There was a time when one of the only songs you had in the cut that you guys were both on that was not released was our song, Sugar High. And then we put it out, but now you guys have other stuff that you are holding on to.
Oh, weirdly without us.
I know, that is strange.
I mean,
You're breaking up the band.
I think we should do something new
I think so too.
at this point.
We got some
because,
stuff.
You know, and me and him's been working so close
Yeah.
with shit.
Yep.
I don't know when this episode is gonna come out,
Right.
2020.
Yeah.
so I don't really want to go all the way, but I'm gonna go slightly.
Do you guys have a title?
Did you see what's the name of this shit? Did you see Step Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it called Step Brothers? I swear to God.
Nah, it's not. But
Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly.
Step Brothers had a
You-
they had a name for their group,
Okay.
and
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
So we'll look forward to that, and then you might have other stuff too.
Yeah, I got some other stuff with that person and two of our other friends.
And this is just like
It's all out the blue shit.
I would say a smoker's dream.
I would say it's the Expendables of rap.
It's like this is something where it's like a lot of your favorite rappers all together.
This is something that when it comes out, people are gonna cry out of joy.
And you know
They
what
never
else?
Thought it would exist.
If people pay attention to your Instagram stories, they might have seen a certain session or two
Yeah.
that you filmed.
We even shot a video the other day.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Where did you film it?
We filmed it in Los Angeles. I'm really excited about it. I think we all are equally excited about it. But I don't think nobody is going to talk too much about it because we still getting business done.
Okay.
But it's a real thing. And me and Spitters definitely, we kind of want to be Eric and Jeff a little bit.
Okay.
Are you guys starting a podcast?
Yeah. Wow.
We kind of want to be Eric and Jeff a little bit.
Yo.
First of all, nobody wants to do that. That's very kind of you to say in this apartment.
So, you know, we dibbling and dabbling, and I'm just happy to be hustling with my friends, you know.
That's dope.
How do you feel about edibles?
No, I hate edibles, Jeff. I hate them. I think if I'm flying overseas,
Mm-hmm.
I like edibles.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm just living life and someone's like, hey, Smoke, let's get really fucked up off weed brownies. I'm gonna say no.
It just takes you to a different place then.
It makes my body hurt.
Okay.
It makes my back of my neck hurt. Everybody laughs when I say that.
And on a flight, that's like
On
double. Like
on a flight, it just put me to sleep.
Oh, okay.
So it works.
I was gonna say the neck thing. Like yeah.
Nah. I think that's just like some weird.
I'm
pressure,
straight on a
like
flight
the-
and I can't even.
the
Like,
sugar and the weed. Maybe it's like that. It's a little too much, but.
Well, follow-up question. Eric, how do you feel about edibles?
Oh, you had edible
oh,
trip.
yo, listen.
Oh, this is great. I like stories.
This was okay. So Jeff and I are invited out to house in the Hamptons. Your old stomping grounds, the Hamptons.
Oh my God.
And this is
And by the way, we're not those guys, but
yeah, his son is a friend, and he was like, "Would you like to come out and hang out in the Hamptons and watch the series finale of Game of Thrones
Oh.
in a big screening room in the Hamptons?"
Fancy schmancy.
We said
Yeah.
yes. So
well,
and
you know how the Jewish cabal,
yeah.
we all stick together, run the world and shit.
So we're invited out there. This happens to be the night after we go to Khaled's SNL after party at Tao. So
Fancy.
your
Well,
boys are out,
Listen,
hanging out.
a lot of people want to be like us.
yeah.
I said it. Shit.
So we're on zero sleep on the first thing smoking out to the eastern part of Long Island. We get picked up. We go out there. Don't know anyone. This is son and his friends and his wife. And we're like, okay, cool. So people are throwing a football around. The weather's perfect. Jeff and I are checking out where the seaplane lands. We're just like, what part of heaven is this? You know, everything is perfect.
The most beautiful like property, everything, beautiful day, all of it.
Even on no sleep. Zero sleep, tired, hungry.
Yeah.
And they are like, you know, just the perfect hosts and meeting all these different people. And Jeff's like, I'm going to take a nap by the fire pit. I'm like, you do you. I'm going to throw the football around. They start passing out some zucchini bread. I'm hungry. Let me take a little bit of this, take a whole slice of zucchini bread, down that. And they're like, oh, we're not scientists here, nor are we real chefs. And we put probably like 4 times the amount of weed than we should have. And you
the zucchini bread?
and you ate 2 times the amount that I would. And I was like, oh, all right.
Oh damn.
So 45 minutes later, I forget about it. We're sitting at this long table, and you know the chefs are there, and they're bringing out like every bit of food that just like covers this table. And they pour some rosé wine, and I take a sip, and my world goes like that. And I'm like,
You forgot the truth.
I'm looking at this rosé. I was just like, damn, like this is heavy shit. And then I was like, oh no. And you know, I'm a funny guy in real life, and I said something, and that shit fell so flat. And I'm like, I'm gonna. So I go to the bathroom. I shut the door, and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah. Walk back out, and I'm like, yo, Jeff.
Time to go.
I was like, I need to.
Well, Eric just goes, follow me.
Yeah.
Like he goes, I need to tell you something. And I go, okay. And I don't really think anything of it because I was taking a nap. I have no idea what his whole thing is.
Right.
And so I go off to, we went inside, and Eric starts whispering, and he's got like, his eyes are just huge. And he's just like, blah, 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 zucchini bread, and just the whole thing. And he says, I'm going to go to the back room, and I need you to come with me, but don't tell anybody. And so I say, okay. And so we go back to the back room. He sits down, and I'm like, I'm going to go tell everybody. because like what, how could I possibly be like, hey, by the way, don't worry about Eric. I don't know where he went. Just don't check the back room. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. And let me tell you, certainly for the next like 5 hours or so, everyone's like, hey, just lay down, enjoy the grass. That shit was so terrible. That was like the worst experience ever. I didn't enjoy the sun. I didn't enjoy the
Eric
grass.
kept asking, why would I be at house? This isn't real.
Oh, nothing made sense. If I did this here in my own environment, maybe it would have made more sense. Right. I'm in the Hamptons at house on a Sunday to watch Game of Thrones. Nothing made sense. So all I said for the next 5 hours was
just over and over and over.
I was like, is this real?
Can't be real. This can't be real. And so,
every single person. By the way, I've never met any of them except for Jeff and son. And like, I'm looking at these like bearded guys with pink shirts, and they're like, you're gonna be cool. I'm like, that's what you would say. Like, none of this is real. I was like, this is a movie.
Let me teach you how to shake that next time.
Yo.
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yeah, milk. That brings your high down.
Oh,
Yeah, so anybody panicking off edibles or weed,
I was high.
Wait.
too high, eat ice cream.
I do not believe you because Ben and Jerry
I'm telling you.
are two guys who fucking love.
They do.
I was
Yeah.
high for the next day and a half. Like I came back here to record a podcast intro, and people hit me, like called me up, and they were just like, "You sound so crazy," and I
So
was
crazy.
like, "I don't even know what's going on."
Yeah.
Oh,
Wild.
Man, it was
But
a
yeah.
blood high. That's what that.
We took because
Eric
it goes straight to the.
So
Straight to
I'm
the
sitting
screen.
there and I was playing backgammon, and Eric would be like, "Why would you be playing backgammon? You wouldn't be playing backgammon.
None of this
Like,
makes
none of
sense.
This is real."
Yeah, yeah. Like everyone would be like, "Go to sleep," and so I'd go lie down somewhere, and people would leave, and then I'd get up and like
Yeah,
just
going
walk
to
around
sleep
somewhere else.
sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You can't sleep when you're high.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Thanks for that.
yeah, that yeah.
Ice cream next time. Give me a call next
Yeah,
time. You're panicking
I-
off some weed.
I
Yo,
will for
by
sure.
the way, absolutely
Yeah.
will call you up.
That would be
I'll
so
walk you
great
through
though.
it.
Yeah. When did you decide to not write when you rap?
All right, so I used to have a sidekick. So that's the diet two-way pager.
Oh, you mean you could have upgraded if you beat Immortal Technique, but because
Right.
you didn't, you
Because
were
I didn't
stuck
have
with
I
your.
was stuck with the sidekick. So I had the diet two-way pager. And anytime I didn't pay my T-Mobile bill, I would lose all my notes because I wasn't writing my raps. I was typing my raps at this point because it started to get a little easier. So anytime you have notes in your shit and you didn't pay your bill, they all disappear. So
Damn.
one day, obviously I didn't pay my bill, and it all went away. And I had some good raps in there, and I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Damn.
I'm like, I'm not writing no more because I gotta. It forced me to learn my shit to perform too, because I'm like, I gotta learn it to perform it anyway.
Yeah.
So I might as well just learn it now, and that was just my mental exercise.
Did you know that other people did not? Like, did you know that Jay didn't write at that time?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Not at the time. And then when I found out that he did it, and then Biggie was doing it, it was like
Wayne.
and Wayne.
Yo,
and-
well, okay, let's be very honest. You've just named some incredible guys, including yourself, who do not write and then just spit their rhymes.
Right.
There's a lot of people who claim to do that and then spit terrible shit.
Right.
Or mid shit, which is equally terrible.
Right.
So
Well, mid is high if you have low standards.
so
Yeah.
so that's a bar.
Yeah. That's like an Instagram like motivational quote.
Look, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
A short dick don't get no head.
Wow.
So that's a
Was
good
that
one.
in
Yeah,
the,
that was
on
in
the
the, that was
two-way?
in the sidekick.
That was
Well, so how do you feel then when people like take that and they're like, "Nah, man, I don't write shit down and it's not good." And you're like, "No, don't ruin my shit."
well, everybody got their process. I stopped saying people's shit wasn't that good because it goes with like paintings. Like I could look at a painting of some shit and be like, "This sucks," but then somebody else might look at that same painting and say, "Hey, I give you 5,000 for that."
Or
Yeah.
5 million
Explains
for
my
that.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So I don't say it's whack, but I just say,
It's not for me.
it's not for me.
Well, but
and
that's
their
the same thing.
process
Yeah.
is just a little, might be lazier them doing it that way, because if it's mids and you're not writing it, maybe you should write it.
But also, like, I feel like I stopped criticizing things as hard when I started doing it as well. And I was like, I don't have, once you see how hard it is to do all this shit, then it's just like, there's no basis for you saying, like, for you shitting on somebody and saying, like, that's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not
like, it hasn't found its audience.
Right.
Yeah. It's not easy to be a rapper. I tell you that. I don't know what writer's block is anymore, but when I was younger, I used to get writer's block. But for any artist that would be like, "Oh, I can't write, I got writer's block," you're just not living. Because if you live your life every day, it's always something to talk about.
For real.
See, now
you
that's
know?
a bar.
That is a bar.
Yeah,
By the way,
I-
best cure for writer's block? Dairy. Ice cream.
you're so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, you live your life. You never have that mental block where you can't write something down. So
I went to school to be a filmmaker, right? And man, when I was in college and I was writing about things, it's what I knew back then, but I didn't like live life, right? I didn't lose, I didn't love, I didn't actually like travel like to like extremes. Like this was the sheltered world that I knew around like where I grew up, where I went to school and like that lifestyle. But then you go on and you experience other things, and that takes you to another level. Did you have that as well, where you were just like, yo, I got blinders on when I'm first starting, and then it's just like there's one thing that opens up your whole mind to
with rap or with something
with
else?
rap.
Yeah, I think
Like when was the hump that you got over where you're just like, oh, this is a real high form of art?
when I got paid for ghostwriting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think the first time I did it, I had a fucking real sour taste in my mouth, pause, because I didn't get paid or I didn't get any credit.
So you didn't think that your worth was there?
Yeah, I didn't think my worth was there until I found something totally, I got put on something that was totally undiscovered and given a chance to work with that grassrooted up, which was Sean Kingston. And then when he got his record, and I got 3 or 4 records on his album that I did, it validated all my hard work for that time.
Yo, how about the validation for other people in your life when they see that there's a check?
Oh yeah, my mom and my dad.
Right.
You know, just to see my name in the credits was the biggest shit.
Now
me.
it's a real thing and
Now
not a
it's
hobby.
real thing. Now it's like, this is what Sean did when their friends is asking, yeah, so what's Sean doing? It's like,
Right.
oh yeah, well, that kid Sean Kingston, look.
Wait, what's your last name?
Pompey.
Oh, so not Kingston.
Could have been.
Could have been Sean. Sean Pompey is a really good name, by the way.
So I could have been my rap name, but I'm saving that for my son if he want to do it.
Yeah. Wait, is it Pompey spelled like the city?
Nah, it's spelled with a Y, not an I.
Still cool.
Still cool.
Yeah.
We ain't going up in flames though.
Yeah.
Well, neither did Pompey. There was dust, ash.
You have all these projects coming up. You're still recording beyond that, I would imagine.
Yeah, they stopped me from recording yesterday. I was in the
Who's
studio.
they?
Yeah, who is they?
Shout out to Hovain and Trigger, my engineer. I was fucking working on
They.
the record, and Hovain was like, yo, come on, yo, boss, yo, that's enough, bro. Like, I don't think you need no more songs, bro. You got like 400 songs, my nigga. My project manager over there, nigga, they call like, facts.
So there's no chance that you could just like, I don't know, put lots more projects out or
Yeah.
put them on like soundtracks. You
Yeah,
can't like
hell yeah.
sync them on TV
Hell
shows,
yeah.
movies.
I mean, we got syncs. I got something on NBA 2K right now.
All right.
That's dope.
That's making its rounds. Shout out to Buddy. Get You Some, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
For those wondering, download that shit. But yeah, I could fucking put these shits out back to back every day if I wanted to. But
What if we want you to?
I mean, I can just give it to y'all for y'all personal
thank you
archive,
very
just to
much.
have it playing in the background.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to walk up to you like Bun did with the iPod and just be like, yo, look.
When you're gonna put
Yeah.
this song out, there's a retarded playing at home.
Yeah.
But it's all strategy. It's all timing. Like I don't wanna fucking sacrifice my cool and compromise my cool and just continue to drop shit and be competing with myself. So I'd rather give them something to, munch on, pause, appetizer, come back with another app until I come with the whole dinner. And then you can put it all together and have a whole 4-course meal. But until then, I kind of want to give them something to wait for. That's like Jordan. If he put out the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s back to back to back, you're competing with yourself. You're not even giving the 1s time to make money or not giving the 1s time to really get digested. So I want them to digest it. And then when I feel like they full, and then I give them something else.
Do you still wear Uptowns?
Sometimes it depends.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic for me.
Okay.
I got a pair of Uptowns, the cinematic collab Uptowns with everybody's name and shit on it. And I'm not probably ever going to wear them because they're so cool that you wear Uptowns once or twice, they get creased in the front.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody like from Harlem actually was just like, no, it's not my type of silhupette.
I mean, maybe the young kids, like, we don't wear mids. We don't wear mids.
Shout to Snap God.
Yeah, we don't wear mids. So, Uptowns is named after Uptown. I feel like we branded the Uptown. But, niggas in Harlem, we wear shocks. That's like a Harlem sneaker right now. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of off the Uptowns. But they still classic. They like Stan Smiths.
What was the first time you met Nipsey? Like,
Wow. I met Nip in 2005. I want to say maybe right before we met Sean, a few months before we met Sean. I flew out to South Central with Johnny. Johnny was going to meet Big U.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny was always playing Nipsey shit. The song, I don't give a fuck. Riding in the window with my beat turned up. AC running in my window down. Chunking up the hood when I hit your town. He was playing that shit a lot. And we loved Nip shit before we even met him. So, and then after we met him, and he was so cool and just had this aura with him. You know what I mean? Like, smoke a lot of blunts and just talk shit. And drink Cafe Patron and all that type of shit at the time. And first time I met him was like the first time I was really in like LA, in the hood. Like, yo, stay back, we don't know what that car is, hood. And I'm from Harlem. Like, I'm from the hood, but I ain't never been in Boys in the Hood type of scenery.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like new for me, and just the fact
He looked out for you?
He always looked out for me. All of them in a whole, you know, so I was my guy. Beyond the rap shit. I think the last time I seen him, we was in Paris. So that's just to show you our elevation.
Yeah, the arc,
from,
yeah.
You know, us linking in the hood in LA to we re-linking in fucking Paris because we both got shows, and we pull up to the studio with Ryan Leslie, and he's putting me on for the whole Sprinter ride, which was like an hour on the Proud to Pay campaign. And this is before I really even knew what that shit was. I really didn't understand it. And this was going back to what my friends was telling me with Bet on Yourself. Because he was one of the main ones, too, telling me, yo, dogs, put that, you need to do the Proud to Pay shit. Like, your fans is going to fuck with you, bro. It's direct to consumer. And when you do this, you got all the IP numbers, and you got this, and you got that. And it was so much information. Like, I remember I was burnt out. He was talking to me. I fell asleep because I was so fucking tired. But he was so passionate about this shit. Like, yo, DZA, look at this. Showed me 300,000 in his account at the time. Like, this is off rap, nigga. This is my last project, nigga. This is mailbox money, or this, you know what I mean? Like, he was ahead of his time, and he figured it out. I watched him lose it all. Everybody say it was over for him, and get that shit right back to in the biggest way, like the biggest wins that you could have from being down 30 in the third quarter. You know what I mean? So much love to that brother, man. He's a special guy. Yeah.
How does it feel for you? We feel this some way too, where you've been in the game long enough where kids now walk up to you and consider you an OG and call you a legend and say that, yo, you've been a part of my life for most of my life. Does that trip you out?
Yeah, it fucks me up. Even the kids that be like, Unc, it fucks me up. And it's like, you know, I'm like, I still feel new. I'm still like, you know, I'm still fairly young to my OGs. So I'm not looking at it as if, you know, whatever, but it's the same way how I ran down on Bun B.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm Smoke DZA, yo, good, you know, great to be around your presence. And he shows me my music in the iPod. It's kind of like, you know, when like a fucking Guap Dad 4000 or somebody, or like a buddy, or like, you know, these kids like be like, yo, it's my man, Jack Harlow. Yo, I was listening to you. Substance abuse was rocking when I was in, or Russ. Yo, I was listening to you back when. It fucks me up.
Yeah,
But
especially because Russ doesn't say nice things about anybody.
But Russ is super dope, man, and he earned his right to talk shit because he putting up them numbers. You know what I mean? So if you put up them type of numbers, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
You surprised about your reach?
No, not really.
Eric, he's a basketball player.
Not.
I think at this point I'm not surprised no more because, like, I just came back from Japan, a few years ago, and that was probably the most surreal experience I've ever had being a rapper.
That was your first time over there?
My first time over there. I sold out the shows.
Sold out merch?
Sold out merch. I fucking was like Jay-Z out there.
Talk us through what you see.
I just see people running down with vinyls, CDs, T-shirts that we don't have the same language barrier, but they know RFC and they know Ride and they like DZA and they, the best way they could say that they appreciate me. You know, people running down with my whole discography. Physicals that I didn't even know existed.
And reciting words back to you?
Reciting words back to me. And like, you know, as soon as I stepped on the stage and I seen all their faces and it was just like, Combs, my photographer, he took a picture and he sent it to me like, yo, dogs, look at their faces, bro. And just, it wasn't nobody in that room that wasn't like, oh my God. And, you know, just walking through the city of Tokyo and people playing my music that they didn't know I was going to be there. Like, they didn't know I was walking into their store. But yet Smoke DZA is pumping, is ringing off. That shit was just like, where am I? You know what I mean? Like, it felt like a national holiday. Like, they knew I was in the country and they wanted to show off to make sure I come back. And they did it because I'm going back for sure. So that was probably the most surreal thing that happened to me as a rapper.
Not bad for a Harlem boy, huh?
Not bad for somebody from Harlem. You know what I mean? That a lot of people didn't think I would make it this far. So to see my reach, the whole other side of the world, it's like, can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, congratulations on, man, a million projects. Congratulations on being a long way from Dress Barn.
Yeah, long way from Dress Barn.
And most of all, congratulations on getting that Rihanna picture. That
bucket list shit?
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right, well, fuck this.
Yeah. And by the way, congratulations on your 4th, 5th appearance, whatever it is here, and we'll have you back happily whenever.
I'm an all-star on ItsTheReal.
Let's go. Come through. Bring Spitta.
Next time I come,
we want to guest on your guys' podcast. Yeah.
Y'all will definitely be on the...
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening to this new episode of A Waste of Time with ItsTheReal. Jeff, people want to find out more about us. I'm Eric with the curly hair. You're Jeff with the glasses. Together, we are ItsTheReal. No apostrophe, no spaces. People want to find out more about this podcast. It's called A Waste of Time with ItsTheReal. People want to find out more about what's going on with us. Where can they go?
You can always go to ItsTheReal.com, ItsTheReal.com. Go there, sign up for our newsletter. It's right on the homepage. You can also get merch. You can go and find old episodes and new ones. Recommendations are on our website. Go to the episodes tab. Also, all of our episodes are on all streaming platforms. Go check them out wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are everywhere.
We are everywhere. You can always find us on social media at ItsTheReal on Twitter, at ItsTheReal on Instagram. Those are the only 2 social networks that matter.
Actually, I heard a rumor that the Social Network, the movie, might have a sequel. I heard that the parties have come together and are considering something. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Sure. I'm down.
There's been a lot of craziness since the first movie.
Yeah, I'm sure that Facebook would not be on board.
There you go. Jeff, I put out a call to action. I said, hey, Internet. Since this is a wrestling podcast, who is your favorite wrestler? Jeff, do we have any that we know?
Me and you?
No, I'm saying have people responded with any? Roddy? Yeah. Go ahead and give the shout outs.
All right. King Gage, like the Ultimate Warrior. Lalo Guzman, Lalo 3000, Bret Hart. Abo Cows, our guy out in London, to Daniel Bryan. I don't know if that's a wrestler or not.
I'm going to guess yes.
But it doesn't sound like a wrestler.
Because it's not the Ultimate Warrior?
It doesn't have like a wrestler name.
Is Bret Hart a wrestling name?
Yeah, alright. Bret Hart, Heartbreaker, all that stuff. Dave from the Bronx, Young Chipotle, said Kofi Kingston. That's one of the guys in the thing.
Okay, he's a wrestler now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pontification, that's NF Gloom, great name.
Yeah.
Said AJ Styles. That is a name.
I couldn't even tell you if that person's a wrestler. That feels like a wrestler. No. I guess we have to get over this idea that like WWE is the only wrestling league. Because
Eric, you and I both know that there are many leagues.
Multiple leagues.
Yeah. I was always a WCW fan.
Oh man,
growing up.
Jeff, little throwback. Wait, also, that's Jeff's wrestling move. Throwback.
Alex White from the Lost in Culture podcast out of Dallas said Goldberg, our Jewish brother.
There you go.
Shaquille Sunflower HK _ Domino said Shawn Michaels. Lawrence R Comedy said RVD. Don't know if that. I don't know what that is.
Right.
Doped out said The Rock.
That's somebody I've heard of.
And Rhinestone Cowgirl, Bloody Boral from Illinois said my name's Boral. And my favorite wrestler is Shawn Michaels. We have the same birthday.
Well,
Happy birthday to both of you.
Exactly right.
It is Libra season.
Shout out to all our wrestleheads out there. Shout out to all you guys for listening. As always, now for real. See you guys next week.